Well, hello there, Tenno. This is Doom Ranger, and today I'll be running through what I feel are the top 5 Warframes for the current event, the Plague Star, also known as Operation Free Forma. Without further ado, let's begin. For the first Warframe we have the Goat. We have Oberon. Oberon is a jack of many traits, being able to do many things but not being the best at what he does. But in Operation Free Forma, I can't deny Oberon is actually a pretty viable frame for this event. Operation Free Forma consists of 4 stages where only 3 requires you to actually do something. The second stage requires you to defend against level 15 enemies. Yes, you can literally one-shot them with just about any weapon, so Oberon's first ability, Smite, actually comes in useful here, since it can clear hordes of enemies. Actually, to be honest, the second stage, you're better off just going fishing, while waiting for the mixer to finish. But what Oberon is really useful at though, is the last stage. Since killing off enemies isn't really a problem due to them being extremely weak, what you want to do is get a frame that can finish off the final stage as quickly as possible. The final stage where you're gonna fight the Hemocytes. Yes, those mini Lefantis. Here's where Oberon's 4th skill and 2nd skill comes in. Oberon's 4th skill, Reckoning, allows him to lift up enemies and slam them down. But what you're really doing is actually just stripping armor. Combined with his 2nd skill, Haloed Ground, you're gonna completely strip the Hemocytes' armor, allowing you and your team to deal more damage and hopefully tear that little shit apart. Building Oberon is really simple. All you need to do is just build some power strength so that your Reckoning has at least 50% armor strip. And when you combine it with your Haloed Ground, you can literally just completely strip the Hemocytes' armor. You don't even need duration or any other mods. The reason why I use Adaptation and Hunter Adrenaline and I built some efficiency so that I can stand on the ball and like literally just just stand on the ball, yes. Okay, I love standing on the ball. No, I'm not masochistic. For our next frame, we have the Rhino of Saturn 6. As for Rhino, literally all his abilities are completely useless for stages 1, 2, and 3. He's only useful for once again fighting the Hemocyte. So his first ability, the dash thingy, the charge thingy, is completely useless and doesn't help in any way. His second ability, the Iron Skin, allows you to stand on the ball, which is very important because you want to stand on the ball. Yes, because standing on the ball is for cool kids. And anyways, his third ability, his third ability, Raw, is actually a very good ability to boost yours and your team's damage, which there's no point because the Hemocyte has a damage cap unless you strip its armor. And his 4th ability is what's useful. His 4th ability, Time Stop, literally allows him to stasis the entire Hemocyte and allow your team to slowly chip away or quickly chip away the Hemocyte's health. To be honest, building Rhino is one of the easiest things you can do for Plague Star. All you need to do is build duration so you can stasis the Hemocyte long enough for your team to fuck it up. If you really want to, you can also build power strength for your Iron Skin so you can stand on the boil longer. And lastly, if you want, you can build range too, for your Storm to cover more ground, but that ain't really necessary. For our next frame, we have Loki. So what can Loki do with handling the Hemosite? Well, absolutely nothing. But if you're bored and have nothing to do, you can do this for stage 2, or any other stages you feel like it.
Stop them.
What's the matter?
The mix or time. Keep the grenade.
If you're wondering, Loki's job is fairly simple.
Drone will serve.
His only purpose is to teleport the drone to the ball, since the fucking drone, for whatever reason, is always located 600 meters to 1 kilometer away.
I'll steer it toward the boil.
Teleporting the drone is pretty simple. Basically, you just run ahead of the drone and just teleport it. Or you can utilize your arc wing and fly way ahead, then exit your arc wing at a spot where the drone is still within your vision, then simply navigate your crosshair to the drone and teleport. I highly recommend getting at least one teammate to keep escorting the drone while you're teleporting it, as the drone stops moving when it's not being escorted. Try to get at least one teammate, or otherwise all of them, to stay near the drone at all times so it keeps moving. After finishing your escort, I mean teleport, you can go kill yourself.
Peristalsis. Antibody.
As for Loki, all you need is range, so just equip all the range mods you can. This is because Switch Teleport is affected by range, so the longer your range, the further you can teleport the drone. So just throw in all your range mods and you're good to go. The next Warframe I'm going to be talking about is one of my favorites for Plague Star, Harrow. Harrow is one of my most favorite Warframes to use for Plague Star because of his amazing skill set. His first skill allows him to chain up enemies and hold them for a short period of time. His third skill is also Plague Star viable. It allows him to give energy, and lastly, his final skill allows him to give crits, which is extremely useful for almost every Warframe mission, including Plague Star. It allows your teammates to deal more damage and shred that little shit to pieces. To utilize his fourth ability, simply activate it and immediately jump onto the boil to take damage. When the timer is about to run out, jump off and start shooting the fuck out of that thing. His third ability,
Energy by death,
allows Harrow to give energy by getting kills, so you'll never have to worry about energy in Plague Star with Harrow around. If you didn't know, Harrow's invincibility also prevents knockdowns, which happens so damn much in Plague Star. With the ability to stop the Hemosite from moving, the ability to give energy easily, and finally the ability to prevent knockdowns, to buff damage, makes Harrow one of the best frames for Operation Forma. As for Harrow, it's pretty simple. All you need to do is build duration for your fourth ability to last as long as possible, so you can maximize the crits you get, or you can build some range for your first ability so you can stasis the Hemosite from afar, or you can also add prime flow so you can maximize your third ability that consumes energy to give energy. But that's up to you. But mainly you're building for crits, so just make sure you build a full duration build to maximize your fourth ability. Finally, we have Tinkerbell and her amazing pixie powers. In regular missions, Tinkerbell may not be super useful, but she truly shines in Operation Free Forma. As usual, I'm focused mainly on frames that can assist in the fight against the Hemosite at stage 4. All other frames don't fucking matter. Naturally, Titania doesn't have anything useful for stages 1, 2 and 3. Well, I mean, maybe you can utilize her passive bullet jump distance for stage 1, but honestly speaking, there's not really much of a difference. Stage 4, however, Titania, this tiny pixie, shreds the literal entirety of their enormous mutated chunk of flesh. Titania's pixie mode allows her to utilize a special arc gun unique to Titania and Titania herself. What makes this arc gun so good though? Why not just keep using your Imperator Vandal? I'm glad you asked. This tiny arc gun fires like a freaking laser and burns through ammo like no tomorrow too. With a properly modded Imperator or fast-firing arc guns, you can probably get similar results. However, arc gun deployments have a fixed ammo pool, and then you have to wait for a freaking cooldown once you unequip it or once you use up all your ammo. Whereas Titania's arc gun acts exactly like a regular arc gun would in Arcwing missions. It uses an infinite rechargeable ammo pool similar to the Foreman. This means that you can charge your ammo back up super quickly and continue blasting that garbage straight back into its mother's womb. The fuck am I saying? Building Titania is simple as well. Since you're only building for an exalted weapon, the Pixie Pistols, you want to get as much efficiency as possible. Afterwards, you can build some power strength and duration if you want. As for her Pixie Pistols, just add fire rate mods, and with some leftover slots, you might want to add corrosive status, since the Hemosite is weak to corrosive. The best part about Titania is that her arc gun uses regular pistol mods, so it's easy to obtain. Much easier than, arc gun mods. Other than that, you might want to add some arcanes for even more fire rate. There's one arcane that allows Titania's pistols to fire even faster. Arcane Velocity. There's actually a very huge noticeable difference when using the arcanes, as you can see when I'm using my kick gun. Considering how much fire rate mods we put on Titania's Pixie Pistols, combined with this arcane, the fire rate is just intense. There are probably 1 or 2 frames which I didn't mention which you guys think are extremely good. For example, Nova. So I think you might be able to see a lot of Slovas in Plague Star recently. But in my opinion, Nova isn't that great unless they mod correctly. Which means that they go very high power strength to effectively slow down the Hemosite and go for a moderate amount of duration, just enough for everyone to destroy the Hemosite's head before redeploying the ability. I've been seeing a lot of Novas throughout Plague Star, and most of them have the wrong build. What they're doing wrong is actually, they are doing their job slowing down the Hemosite, but they went for a very high duration, high power strength build. High power strength is alright because you need high power strength to slow down the Hemosite, right? But with a high duration, it means that the Hemosite will be slowed for a longer time. Which means that when you pop a head, and you're waiting for the other head to open, because of the Slovas' ability to slow down enemies, it makes the Hemosite unable to open the head and preventing you from dealing any damage because it takes too long to open the head. And in the end, you'll end up completing the mission way longer than you could have. With that, Tenno, I wish you all the best in all of Forma glory. Good luck shredding the plague right back into non-existence.